Welcome back. Well, today I am joined by Heather Highland, who is the Public Information Officer for the Orange County Mosquito and Vector Control. Well, Heather, thank you so much for joining me. 'Tis the season.
Yes, definitely. It's starting early this year. Thank you so much for having me on today.
You're welcome. And, we talked a little bit offline, and I think it's interesting what you said is that even though you came from a larger area, the greater Los Angeles area with more than 6 million people, we have about 3 million people, but you're not seeing much of a difference in terms of the workload, which is really a shame because maybe you thought you were going to something a little less stressful, but not so much. Tell me why.
Well, mosquito control is a year-round effort. So I think Greater LA usually works with just mosquitoes. Orange County actually is brought in their control effort. So we not only control for mosquitoes, we have an education program for rats, red imported fire ants. We do control for red imported fire ants. We do tests. So we have in-house testing capabilities to test for flea-borne typhus. So we do test fleas and we do test ticks for diseases.
Okay.
We do also test the mosquitoes in-house for West Nile virus. So it's actually a very extensive operation that we do have. So I think it's just, when the mosquito season comes, every vector control agency has a big workload. So as we see, every sister agency that we have, every vector control agency has a large workload when the mosquito season starts. So you almost feel like no matter if you have 6 million residents versus 3.2, the workload is pretty much the same. You're seeing the same efforts, you're seeing the same control methods, and you're seeing people calling to complain about bites.
Okay. Now, around the year, I think you said it was 2015, we're seeing a new species that's coming from where?
So we first started seeing indications of this invasive species in Mission Viejo in 2015 in Orange County. We already knew that Greater LA were having issues with this invasive species. It's called the 80s mosquito. It's black and white striped. It's very small. It's kind of an incognito mosquito. You'll see them floating very low. That's why they're now known as the ankle biters. And the issue that we're having with this mosquito is they're not like our native species, the Culex species. This particular species, I call them backyard breeders because they prefer the indoors, which is a whole new ballpark for us. Educating residents on indoor breeding now. They also prefer to breed in small containers. So not only can they breed in small containers, they don't need water at the time they lay eggs. So the eggs can stay viable for years. So as we're seeing these type of mosquitoes adapt to this environment, they actually adapt very well to urban environments. So they could breed pretty much anywhere. We're seeing them breed in kiddie pools, in saucers, tires, little tiny toys that you see in the backyard, and even in a cap full of water in trash. So they do have the capability to breed in these little sources. We have seen them indoors breeding in jars where people are leaving house plant cuttings. Even in the Keurig dishes, those little coffee makers, the water dish below, they can breed in there. If you're not using a guest bathroom with the drain, just sitting there with the dirty water, drains, we have seen them breeding in drains a lot.
Oh my gosh. Well, God, what's the point of having a screen door anymore?
I always tell people, I say, people in Florida have those indoor screen patios.
For a
it's
reason,
just a matter of time.
Oh, I know, really. It must be a matter of time. We're going to be screening in our whole yards pretty soon. But are they so tiny that they could get through some of those?
That is something that we've actually tried. We say we might have to test this because I have seen screens that are a little bit larger and they do have the potential to squeeze through those. Yeah. So we tell people maybe use the air conditioning if you do have it. If you don't, if you get a rotational fan that you can actually have on you on the patio or indoors, mosquitoes are weak flyers. So they're not going to fly towards that wind. So that's a nice natural way to kind of deter them from flying on you.
Okay.
But this species is daytime biting, aggressive, black and white striped. I've seen them floating in the air. You can see those really vibrant stripes. And it's just a different species all around, pretty much the way that they breed, their behavior. If you even have one in your house, you'll get about 10 bites because they are cluster biters. They will bite over and over.
Well, does the bug spray work okay?
Yes. So different things that we have on our website, if you go to ostevector.org, we have DIY solutions, and it has a large resource page. And one of the things that we say is a tip, toss, take action. Tip out standing water, toss out unneeded containers where they can lay eggs, and take action, wear repellent.
Mm-hmm.
So repellent can really help you from even preventing bites. These particular mosquitoes can bite through clothing if it's tightly up against your skin. So we're talking about like leggings or jeggings, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually spray the repellent on my pants to prevent the bite. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
you're wearing long socks. Like if you were hiking or walking and you bring long socks, can they bite through your socks?
If they're pretty thick, I wear socks and I haven't gotten bit. But wearing loose, long sleeve clothing can help if you really don't want to wear repellent. There are different ingredients that work really well with the species. You have DEET, IR 3535, lemon of eucalyptus oil, which is my favorite. I tend to use that more because it's strong in it, and I feel like it works pretty well.
Okay.
And we have all those ingredients on our website as well, so you can take a look at them. And they should be EPA approved or
Yes.
registered, because you know that they've gone through arm tests to make sure that they actually work to deter the mosquito. Avon Skin So Soft.
I love that stuff.
That works pretty good, but you always have to look at how long it says it works. If it says 4 hours, 8 to 10 hours, etc.
Okay. You know, there was something someone said to me the other day about mosquitoes. Does it matter, like if you're wearing perfume or if you've eaten something particular that is going to draw them to you?
You know, there's some myths and facts that people, go online and look up. I've heard people say, oh, I eat bananas and that works, or eat garlic, something like that. I always just say, if you feel like it works, go for it. But what mosquitoes are attracted to are 3 things. One is your natural body odor. So there could be a smell coming from someone else that they just don't like. And they prefer this next person to them that has this natural body odor that they like. They're attracted to the carbon dioxide coming out of your body. So I would say if you have more carbon dioxide coming out of your body, or heat, they're attracted to your heat, then they're going to, I think, gravitate towards that if it's a mixture of all 3 of those together that they like the most. So those 3, the heat, CO2, and natural body odor, are all 3 of the ingredients for mosquitoes when they use their antenna to find blood. And it's only the female that bites. The male does not. The male pollinates. The female needs blood to produce her egg cases.
I see.
So our blood has protein in it that they will use for the egg laying process.
Right. Right.
So that's to
We'll go
say.
after animals too, right?
Oh yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So this specific species, the 80 species, prefers human blood. Now we have our native species that prefers bird blood. So that's where we see West Nile coming to the forefront. And we've seen this historical West Nile virus coming through. So every year we have West Nile peeking through just due to bird population. So a bird will have West Nile virus, the mosquito will bite the bird. Then if they can't find a bird to bite, then they'll just bite a human.
Got it.
That's how we get West Nile virus.
Outspread.
This specific species, the 80 species, we're concerned about because it does have the potential to transmit other viruses: chikungunya, dengue fever, yellow fever, dog heartworm. All of those diseases, dog heartworm is another thing that we have to worry about. But these are viruses that now this mosquito is the host of. So if someone were to come internationally into Orange County and they have that virus, because the incubation period, they feel like they're not sick yet, we now have that host mosquito that can bite that person and create almost an outbreak.
Wow.
So that's something we're really doing our due diligence on. If that were to happen, we're on it.
Well, good, because we don't want to have what just happened.
Yeah,
That is for sure. We don't want to
like, wait.
outbreaks, please.
Everyone's like, no more virus outbreaks, please.
Your job is very important, Heather.
Yes.
Please.
Yes.
Save us.
So,
Right.
and it's all source reduction. That's the number one thing that people can do, and it's so easy. is really taking responsibility for your yard. Take charge of it. Look around, even in the littlest places. Tell your neighbor. If you are getting bit and you really feel like you cannot find anything in your yard at all, you can call us for free. It's, you know, we're paid actually by property tax. So you've already paid for us.
Okay.
You can call us and say, look, I've looked everywhere. Can you come and provide an inspection for me? We will look around. If we can't find anything, we'll put flyers around the area to make sure everyone knows, hey, you're getting bit. This is what you can do to prevent mosquitoes from breeding in your yard. Good. Mosquitoes have a very small flight radius. So if you're getting bit and you can't find sources in your yard, it's coming from somewhere around you.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's good to know that they can have those resources. So especially now, we're almost out of time, but I wanted to be able to just touch on the Aliso Creek, because there's many people who, you know, go there and maybe they see standing water off to the side, but they don't necessarily understand that it's a flowing type of situation. So just give us a brief update on the Aliso Creek.
Yeah. So as for mosquito control in Laguna Woods, what we're seeing is there's a lot of plants with saucers. So make sure your saucers are cleared. We have people calling about Aliso Creek all the time. So I did want to inform the residents in Laguna Woods that is maintained and observed pretty much weekly if our inspectors around that area. We also have other agencies that's kind of their jurisdiction, but that is always observed, maintained. If we do see breeding, our guys are always looking, and our special services unit is always doing a wide area control effort in that area. Okay. So if you do see standing water, just know we have looked at it. The golf course, people have called about the golf course. We actually inspect that pretty much weekly, okay, is what our inspector has said. He's found no mosquito breeding as of just yesterday. Okay. And he also said that he has pretty much looked at it about 4 times since 2021 started. So he's already completed 4 inspections, but he looks at it periodically, and Laguna Woods always works hand in hand with us on those issues. Okay. Well, perfect. Well, good to know. And I appreciate all of the information, and, you know, the PSAs have been great. So we've been getting those out there, and, you know, more they see it and reminding them of what to do, the better off I think we all are. So thank you. Oh, thank you so much. And just one more plug is we are doing a giveaway a day for California Mosquito Awareness Week this week. So if you head to ocvector.org, you'll see it up on our page, and you can submit to be put into the lottery to win a gift card and a picnic bag. I love it. All right. Well, thank you so much. Thank you. All right. And we'll be right back after this.